What it do, wrestling world? Welcome to Over the Top Rope Wrestling Show. It's your boy, Mr. Steel, yo, Dibs. And of course, I'm joined by my brother, the other host, the one, the only, Tantalizing, Tony, my brother. What is going on?
I hate everybody.
Dang.
I hate everybody.
Do you still hate Vince?
Yeah, Vince. What a day.
Oh,
What
man.
a day. I'm so.
Oh,
By the way, congratulations on your first watch along last night.
thank you.
I meant to jump in and next week we could do is I'm going to simultaneously broadcast yours in mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you how we could do it. I found it. But anyway,
Yeah.
as you can see, I'm just, bro.
It's one of those days for Tantalizing Tony, everybody. On tap for today's show, we're going to talk about Sasha Banks. Has she been released? Has she not been released? Or are they waiting for the official word to put out to the public? We're going to talk about Jeff Hardy. We're going to mention about Brock Lesnar showing back up again to face Roman at SummerSlam, as Angel just put in the chat. And we're going to talk about Vince McMahon. And that's the first thing we're actually going to get into. Talk about the scandal that's going on within the WWE and what happened yesterday on SmackDown with Vince McMahon, which got me kind of scratching my head. But as you know, there's an investigation, a scandal going around that Vince McMahon paid a former employee $3 million to keep her mouth shut about the sexual relationship that they had. Now, within the past couple of days, Vince McMahon has stepped down as CEO and chairman of the board. Stephanie McMahon, who just took a leave of absence, is now the interim CEO and chairman of the board. With all that being said, it was promoted on social media that Vince McMahon was going to talk to the WWE universe about these allegations and everything. Well, Vince walks to the ring and pretty much says, "Welcome to SmackDown," and he does his strut and everything, and then walks out. That was it. To everyone giving him an ovation. Tantalizing, I'll let you go first. You can give details and what you think about this allegations, the scandal, and even about last night with Vince McMahon coming to the ring doing his strut and welcome to SmackDown.
First of all, here is the actual quote. I'm not gonna read the whole thing because we've been through this on all the shows, on your show, on my show. But basically, this is the quote from CNN Business that McMahon, 76 years old, had an affair, a consensual affair, they claim, with a paralegal who's 41. Her original salary was $100,000. They bumped it up to $200,000. Then next you know, there's $3 million hush payment to keep her quiet. Somebody leaked it. We don't know who. Whoever leaked it, it started a shitstorm. And yeah, so that's where we are right there. Now, this man steps down. Stephanie is the interim CEO, which means Vince is still the CEO.
Pretty much.
He has 87% of the stock on the board. So, what's up, Chrissy? So, yeah. Right now, as a figurehead, he might not be at the top, but he's still pulling the strings because he's in charge of creative, which is why we saw Brock Lesnar. And I'll get into that in a second. What I want to really touch base on is this. As a father of daughters, as a father of two daughters who have had issues with men in aspects of unwanted advances. For the CEO and chairman of the WWE to walk out into a ring last night, into the SmackDown audience, into the WWE universe, and say, then, now, forever, but most of all together, welcome to SmackDown. Disgusting. Disgusting. And let me tell you why. If Vince McMahon paid this woman off out of his own money and it was consensual, I got no quirks. And here comes Big Bucks Bobby and Punky. I've got no problem if he had a consensual relationship with a woman and she took the money and she signed the agreement. No problem. What Vince does in his life is his business. If his wife and him are good with it, that's him to deal with. Here's my problem. With the importance and with the severity of the Me Too movement, where women are being accused of things and not being taken seriously, for him to come on screen and say, then now forever together, what was the point? It served no purpose. It basically was to say, it was a wink to whoever's watching, hey, I'm untouchable. I'm under investigation. I'm still going to come on TV and show that. I think it was disgusting. I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I think a lot of people in a lot of the wrestling pages I belong to are like, oh, man, you being too sensitive. But it's funny because I wanted to ask you guys this. If it was your daughter or your sister or your mother that got paid off, would you be okay with him going on screen ridiculing her or ridiculing other women? Not to mention there's women that's been making accusations for years that they're not treated right. We know this from watching the product. The women are not treated as equal superstars. They're not paid equal. You know? They're not. You're telling me one of the best wrestlers on the planet, Sasha Banks, is paid what Roman's paid. Becky Lynch is paid what Roman's paid. Charlotte, for that matter, is paid what Roman's paid, or Seth, or Cody. It's not equal. Women have been taking a back seat to men since the beginning of time. And I'm sorry, I'm not just pandering. Without a woman, you have no life. You can't get here without a woman. I'm not saying they're not wrong sometimes. I'm not saying don't make stuff up, because I've been accused of things in my lifetime that I have not done. I have had confusion with people because of other circumstances. They would think that because you said they were pretty, you're offending them. I get it. I get we live in a culture now where everything's so overly sensitive. But here's the thing. You are the leader of a publicly traded company where your product is directed at kids. And what's even more sad, and what's even more disrespectful to me, is that all the men in the audience, yeah, Vince, cheering. And if you were cheering out there, and if you thought it was funny, you gotta live with yourself.
Well said. Well said. I thought he was coming on the show yesterday to discuss about what was going to happen. I really thought he was going to talk about this. And when he came out strutting, I was like, for real? You got to be kidding me. Like, with a smile on my face, like, you got to be kidding me. He's coming out strutting. And then a couple words, and he's gone. So, and I'm sitting there like, wow. He thinks he's untouchable. Like, he can't be touched.
Invincible.
Invincible. That's right. Invincible. Pun intended. And I was like, wow. And then I go back to the statement he put out earlier, that he's going to cooperate with the investigation. And whatever the outcome is, he's going to accept it. he's going to accept it. So pretty much that's saying he's admitting guilt. I mean, if I think I'm innocent, I'm not saying I'm not going to accept anything. He's pretty much admitting guilt. And he doesn't have a problem with it. That is a problem that I have with it. You're already admitting guilt. You're still, come on, man. You have a television product that is generated towards kids. It's a PG show. The leader of that organization is you, Vince McMahon. This should not be happening with the leader of any organization. Not at all. You have to set the example. And I'm sorry, bro. It's time for Vince to go. It's time for Vince to go. You had an affair. And you use hush money to keep it quiet. I mean, bro, number one, you don't mix business with pleasure. That is an employee. That's the first thing. I'm just like, wow. I'm just waiting to see what else they're going to find, because when you have a board, it's just not about this hush money he gave to this lady that's being investigated. It's everything else. They're going to be looking like what's going on with Saudi Arabia. What type of money, what type of deals has really been made? This is just the beginning. And for him to still be over creative, I wouldn't even be part of this picture with this. You know, you need to step away, period, and take a back seat. But like you said, Stephanie's in charge now. That means Vince still has his finger on the trigger. It's just, I don't know, man. Ryan Coddington put this. I believe still he will still be investigated for the insider trading. He dumped millions of dollars worth of stock before the news came out. Was that him, or was that like another
That was Kevin Dunn.
That was Kevin Dunn. Yes. And that's gonna be part of the investigation also.
Here's the thing. A lot of people are missing this, and I think I'm going to disagree with you on one point. You're saying that if he admits guilt, this is what you got to realize. This is not a criminal investigation, number one. If he slept with this woman consensually and she accepted the payoff, that's legal.
Yeah.
Everything there is legal. If it was drawn up in a legal document and he had an affair with this woman and she goes, okay, I'll take the money, I'll sign the agreement, there's no harm, no foul. If the money was his. Now, if this is company money, that's where we have an issue.
That's the truth.
But morally, I know what you're saying. Morally, here's a problem. Chrissy says if he used his own money, the board would investigate. And that may be true. But morally, here's my issue. And moral is what we got to remember, everybody. Here's the problem. We all love wrestling. No matter what you say, whether you love WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, whatever, I can even name companies. We all love the business of wrestling or sports entertainment. Whatever it is, we love it. If we did it, we wouldn't be here on a Saturday afternoon on YouTube, people in the chat, and us talking. So, we all know that even after this happens, we're still going to watch WWE. We're going to still watch. None of us are going to not watch.
Yeah.
The issue of morality is where we all have to check ourselves. We have to stop looking at Vince as, oh, he's a billionaire. And yes, these are rich people problems. These are rich people problems. But we have to not accept being pandered to, being played. Him coming on TV last night wasn't just a slap in the face of all the women who feel they've been wrong. It's a slap in the face to everybody who bought a T-shirt, who bought a title, who bought a ticket, who paid for a premium live event or a pay-per-view. It's a slap in the face to us to come on TV. If he said nothing, the statement he put out was fine. But why walk on television as the $1 billion mogul in character, and then nonchalantly welcome to SmackDown.
Yeah.
That's my point. Trolled us. He trolled us, and I take it personal because I wished that he had the integrity to say, hey, I'm under investigation. This is what's going on. When everything's said and done, I hope to be back. This was, he already said it was consensual, so say it in public. People were with his kids in the audience. Kids read the internet. Kids know what's going on. And if parents brought their kids to this thing, knowing this is the kind of business he runs, if they hear it, oh well. I'm disgusted.
Mm-hmm.
The only silver line to this cloud is hopefully Stephanie McMahon can put her spin on the company, that she can do the things that her vision is, what her vision is. And maybe she can change some things. Maybe she will be like, I love my dad, but I'm over this crap with my father. He's cheating on my mom over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the CEO. I'm going to do it my way. I'm not telling her to choose sides. I'm telling her to do it her way. And maybe get a different product. We get a different product. And you did mention Brock Lesnar, right?
I did mention Brock Lesnar. Correct.
Bro, I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to even go into a rant because we'll be here all day long. Brock versus Roman, 117? Really? Come on, man. Come on.
Right. Hunter has a good question. He said maybe Vince McMahon wasn't allowed to go on TV to talk about it. Maybe his attorneys advised him not to do it.
Hunter Iggy, very naive statement. I love you, Hunter. Vince does what he wants. He's still the CEO. He owns the company. Say what you want to say. Let me explain something to you. Before he got on, I guarantee the Fox executives had to double check him and say, okay, you can go on. Come on. Could have said what he wanted. He could have said what he wanted. He could have said, look, here's the deal. You guys read everything. Here's the facts. Have a great show. Yes, Daniel Price.
Yep, I'm gonna put it up.
Yep.
Vince did it exactly the way he said it for a reason. That was him verbally flipping the middle finger to everyone.
Yep. Which means he doesn't care. Which means he doesn't care. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Let me ask you this. You probably know this more than me. Refresh my memory. Didn't he have some type of allegations from Sable years ago?
Sable complained that she was sexually harassed, but we never heard about it again. You know why? Because there was probably a payoff and a non-disclosure agreement. We don't know for sure. But look, I got no problem. If you sexually harass a woman, wait, hear me out. If you sexually harass a woman, and then she goes, I'm not going to say anything if you pay me. Once she's paid, it's over. Because she's agreed, it wasn't that serious not to press charges and go public. These are legal loopholes. So, listen, all I can say is this, is that we've watched this product over the course of our wrestling fandom careers. All of us have watched this product. We know that women aren't treated right in this business.
Correct.
Not just in WWE, all around.
All around.
Some of these women are the hardest workers. Their bodies are even different in the aspects of they're risking not having children.
Yeah, for real.
To wrestle. A lot of these people, put their family goals on the back burner not to have kids. A man could get a woman pregnant and still wrestle. A woman can't. She loses. Becky Lynch lost 18 months of her career. You name a woman that had a baby that was the same, So it's sad that we have to even talk about this. We should be talking about what's going on in actual wrestling business. We got to deal with this politics and the politics of the backstage and who's touching who's involved. I'm over it, bro. I'm over it. I'm over the bullshit. It's like I love wrestling. I love it. I dedicate hours and hours to my channel, to your channel, of,
Yep.
of going to matches. You know, being a cameraman for Fight TV last week. Like,
Mm-hmm.
to deal with this crap. Come on.
Totally agree with you. And I'm gonna say this: when I saw it, I was not surprised, not at all, not at the least bit. But I mean, you know, what can we say?
It's never going to change because it's all our fault. You're to
Right.
blame and I'm to blame and everybody in the chat's to blame because we're still going to watch the product. We're still going to buy titles. We're still going to buy shirts. We're the
Yeah.
problem too. Because you know why? Because
Mm-hmm.
we're optimists. We want the product to be good. We want it to be. We want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin. We want to see The Rock. We want to see the Undertaker. We want it to be. We want to go there and can't wait to get to see Monday Night Raw and switch back and forth between Raw and Nitro. We want something that we're never going to have again. We want
Yeah.
great wrestling in the WWE.
Indeed. We want to thank y'all for tuning in Over the Top Rope Wrestling Show. I'm Mr. Steal Your Dibs. That's my brother from another, Tantalizing Tony. Everybody who's on Tantalizing Tony's page, please subscribe to my page, Mr. Steal Your Dibs Wrestling page. Everybody on my page, go subscribe to Tantalizing Tony. We're going to move on to the next topic. It's about Miss Sasha Banks. We know about the mishap over a month ago where she and Naomi walked out of the WWE during Monday Night Raw. And here we are over a month later. Rumors has it that Sasha Banks has been released. We don't know if that's true or not yet, but I read this morning that it is true. They're just waiting for an official statement to come out before they say anything. Um, I'm gonna go first about this whole situation, Tantalizing Tony. I'm happy for Sasha, plain and simple. I'm happy for Sasha, and let me go back. Um, let me No, Daniel, I wasn't ending the stream. Wasn't hearing the stream. Ending the stream. I'm sorry, Lloyd. We're talking about it right now. Um, we don't know if it's true or not yet, Lloyd, but word has it that it's true. They're waiting on an official statement. But let me go back to when she and Charlotte had their feud. Sasha had the belt for a total of about what, 3 weeks total? Because she would win it, and then a week later would lose it, and Charlotte would have it for a little bit, for a little longer. Sasha win again, and a week later she would lose it. They never gave Sasha a long title run at first. Let's get that out the way. Sasha wins the belt against Alexa Bliss. What happens? She loses it within the next 2 weeks. Alexa Bliss again. Long title run. Let me get to WrestleMania 35. You gonna sit there and tell me that Sasha and Bayley were supposed to lose those belts to the Iconics? The Iconics. And that's the whole scenario when they said Sasha and Bayley took their ball and went home and everything. And Sasha actually asked for a release then. And Vince said no. And Sasha took some months off and came back. And let's get to the recent stuff now. You're gonna sit there and tell me you're gonna start a feud with Sasha and Charlotte right around Royal Rumble time and have that match at WrestleMania. And throughout the whole year leading up to it, you have snippets of them fighting each other every couple of weeks. So we're gonna lead up to it. And then Ronda Rousey wants to come back, and you tell Sasha, "Oh, change of plans. We're gonna do Ronda versus Charlotte. But as a consolation prize, we're gonna give you the tag team belt with Naomi. We're gonna make that happen." So Sasha is upset about that, but hey, Naomi is her friend. She'll go with it. And then you're gonna tell them they're gonna be in a 6-woman match, and Naomi is gonna be Sasha and the champions. how much more disrespect can happen to Sasha Banks? I'm and I'm happy she's standing up for herself, just like CM Punk and Tony Storm. You know, they stood up for themselves. They didn't like things. That's cool. But you know, I look at Ronda Rousey in the wrestling ring, and I just sit there like this. I'm not. She doesn't excite me in the ring like a Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair. So why does Sasha have to keep getting stepped on by the WWE? So if she asked for her release and she got it, props to her. And I wish her the best on her future endeavors, wherever that may be. Wrestling, acting, wherever. I pass it on to you.
Here we go. Everybody batting down the hatches. Everybody knows I have a love, hate, love relationship with Sasha Banks.
Mm-hmm.
I understand everything everyone's saying about her point of view, about how she's not pushed properly, how they never give her a long title reign. I get it. My two problems with Sasha Banks is this, and this is just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But when she was on the Broken Skull sessions with Stone Cold Steve Austin, she gave me the impression that she felt like she was the best women's wrestler, the best wrestler on the planet.
Let me cut you off right quick. Is it wrong for her to think that?
Yes. Yes. That's like me saying I'm the best YouTuber on earth. I can be the self-proclaimed YouTube champion, but my numbers don't prove it. Am I a good YouTuber? Yes. Am I the best?
Yes.
Am I the best now? Not yet, because I only have 4,000 subscribers. So how am I the best? I haven't proven myself in the YouTube industry to be up there with a Logan Paul or a Joe Rogan or a John Campy or anybody you name, or a Chris Van Vliet or a Renee Paquette. Who am I? As good as I know that I am, there's only one Tantalizing Tony. Just like there's only one Sasha Banks, there's only one Mrs. Steal Your Dibs. But who am I to say that I am the best YouTuber on the planet when I have not been doing this as long as a lot of other people? And there's my issue with Sasha Banks. Is she a great wrestler? 100%. Is she the best to ever lace boots? She's better than Mr. Perfect. She's better than The Rock. She's better than Trish Stratus. She's better than Lita. She's better than Charlotte. She's better than everybody. This is the problem. Mike, I disagree with you. I disagree 100%. Mike, I love you, and everybody subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. That's his exact name there. I disagree. Sasha Banks' boss character is Sasha Banks. She's very arrogant. She's very sure of herself. She's very conceited. Just a fact. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because I'm conceited too, and I'm a narcissist. I will not lie to you. But one thing I think Sasha lacks is humility. It's just this, the way it comes off to me in her interviews. I think she's great. I love her. The other thing, the other point, this will shut everybody down. You guys can say whatever you want. She's been treated bad, whatever. She signed a contract. When you sign on the dotted line, if they tell you in wrestling, put on the gobbledygooker suit and go lay down for the 3 count, guess what? You better be the best damn gobbledygooker you ever could be. That doesn't mean you gotta like it, but you know how wrestling works. You know when you sign the WWE, you know what can happen. You know you could be one character in NXT and you go to the main roster and be something else. You know that you could be the best wrestler on the card and you might not even see a match. You might be in catering. What's her problem? She's a millionaire. She gets to follow her dream. So what? They put you six-pack challenge. So what? You were gonna lose. You're still tag champs, and you don't know what the plan was. You jumping the gun. I'm walking. How do you know the plan wasn't for her to lose in the six-pack challenge, for Bianca to go against Naomi, for Bianca to win, and then for Sasha to go against Ronda? And maybe they pull a swerve and Sasha beat Ronda. We don't know. You tell me 100% you know what
the word came out, she was losing to Ronda.
Doesn't matter what the word was. Things changed last minute. How do we know 100%? Card subject to change. How do we know? How do we know what their plans were? And maybe the plan was for her to lose to Ronda. First of all, Raquel Rodriguez and Ronda had a great match. Raquel almost beat her. She goes, I almost had you. How do we know the match between Ronda and Sasha wasn't going to be a 5-star, even though Sasha lost and Naomi lost? How do we know that Monday on Raw after the pay-per-view, this wasn't the gimmick? This wasn't the storyline.
Hold on. Let me stop you for a second. Because you said something about how we don't know if that match would have been great between Ronda and Sasha. I'm sorry. Ronda Rousey's best match was against Sasha Banks at the Royal Rumble a few years ago.
You're proving my point.
You agree?
I agree. You're proving my point. You're proving my point.
Matches that Sasha has had with many people, Becky, Bayley, Bianca, they have had their best match because of Sasha Banks. We can't say the same for Charlotte or anybody else.
Agreed.
To me, nobody makes other wrestlers in the ring better than Sasha Banks when she's up against them.
Agreed. And there's my.
I just want to throw that in there.
No, I appreciate it, but you just helped me, just so you know. Thank you. Without knowing, you helped me. Proves my point. If Sasha's so great and makes everybody better, and she knows it, what's the big deal about doing the job? You're still the best. You're still making everybody better. Now, back to my last point about this. How do we know that after Naomi lost, respectively, to Bianca, and Sasha lost to Ronda, respectively, that Monday Night on Raw, Sasha Banks and Naomi come out, tear the locker room to shreds, tear the commentator table to shreds, beat up all the men commentators, and get on mic and says, hey, look, bitches, we're coming for each and every one of you. We almost had the ladies' titles, and we missed them by that much. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to make sure we keep these tag titles. Any teams want some, we're coming for you. We're going to kick your asses every day of the week and twice on Sunday. How do we know this wasn't to push them further to make the women's tag team titles even better? This may not have happened, but how do we know this wasn't the plan? We'll never know. You know why? Because they took their ball and went home. They cried. It's not fair. I signed $1 million contract and I'm not getting my way. Excuse my language, everybody, but I'm about to say it. Get the fuck out of here.
Now, hold up. They, like Mike Messier says here, they wanted the women tag belts to be taken seriously. We know they didn't have any type of plans for those women tag teams championship.
We don't know that.
But, okay, well, let's look since they brought the belts in. What plan have they had except for Sasha and Bayley when they had the 2 belts? What plan have they had?
Ready for this?
Period. All these years.
How long was Roman suffering succotash until he finally got it right? How long was Roman?
Tag belts.
How long was Roman booked wrong? How long was Roman booked wrong?
Forever. Until he came back. Forever.
6 years? 7 years?
Yeah, just about. Yes.
Okay, so how do we know that wasn't going to change for the tag titles? We don't know. We'll never know. The problem is this. We don't know what the plan was. It could have been they're going to still bury them, but we don't know because they walked. You listen. This
That's what I'm saying. What plan have they ever had with those women tag belts? That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter what the plan was. It matters what you make of it. This is one thing I have over you, JB. I'm sorry. You are a world champion in Taekwondo. Correct? 4 times.
You've been in the wrestling business. Correct.
I'm a professional wrestler.
Yes, sir.
If my booker says Tantalizing, you're jobbing to the Trekkie, then you're jobbing to the Trekkie. Doesn't matter if I'm better. Doesn't matter if the best guy on the card.
I agree with that. That's the job. Yes.
It's the job. It's called doing the job. It's called doing the job. She's called doing the job. She's not doing the job. She's a freaking prima donna that cries all the time about she doesn't get away. She's a WWE superstar. Everybody knows what you're getting into when you get into the WWE. It means that you have no control over your storyline, that Vincent Kennedy McMahon controls everything. You sign the dotted line. You do the job.
Correct. Now I'm gonna say this. Let me say this though. Bring it back to Ronda Rousey coming back. If you promise this, and somebody who was in the business for 1 year and then left and comes back 3 years of being gone, put yourself in her shoes right quick. Yeah, we're gonna put you up against Macho Man Randy Savage. All right, somebody come back after being gone for 3 years. Hey man, we're gonna go ahead and make a change. Make a change, okay? We're gonna put you with the tag team belts at Mania, or we're gonna put Sting in your place. Then wrestle Macho Man. How do you feel about that? 3 years.
100% right. But on the flip side of that, how do you know there hasn't been times they put Sasha in a spot where somebody else should have gone over?
True.
That's my point, bro. This is my thing, everybody. Professional wrestling is different than real life, especially in the WWE. I have only wrestled for small organizations, and I've been part of ECW. When you are told, let me pull the curtain. Okay, I'm gonna pull the curtain back. When you hit the arena, hit the gym, hit the Elks Lodge, wherever you go, and you're backstage in the locker room, and the booker's talking to you. All right, Tony, this is what's gonna happen today. You're going against JB. You guys figure out the match. Here's the finish. JB, you finish it. Use your finisher on Tony. Tony, take the 1, 2, 3. Blah blah blah. Here's your pay. Wait a minute. I'm in my hometown. JB's from New Orleans. I'm in Brooklyn. What do you mean he's going over? What? I'm not doing this job. I'm out. What? No excuses. Was she mistreated? Of course. Was she booked properly? Never. Should she be champion longer? Of course. Doesn't matter. None of it matters. JB, you work for UPS.
That's right.
You know how it is. My best friend Nelly works for UPS too. I know Christmas time, you get 500 pieces. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
You telling your boss you ain't doing 500 pieces on Christmas Eve?
No shot. Not at all.
Why?
Because I'll be fired.
Excuse me. Correct. And there's my point. Ryan says it. Can you please put his comment up?
Let me see.
The very top.
Ryan Connington?
Yeah, at the very top. It says everyone.
I got it.
Thank you, Ryan. Everyone's working a contract. Do your job. I don't care what I love everybody in the chat. I love JB's people. I love the Nation of Tantalization. Kiss my entire ass if you don't like what I'm saying. You sign a contract. I am formerly a former Army soldier. I raise my hand to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I signed the dotted line. I'm not gonna get on the front line like, oh, well, I'm not gonna fight now because here come the Afghans, here come the Iraqis, here come the Russians. Get out of here! Stop with your little pansy ass like she wasn't treated right. Why, Sasha? Why? She signed a contract. You're all wrong. She signed a contract. If you don't agree when she signed a contract, you're all wrong. You can't walk. When Stone Cold walked, he was wrong. He signed a contract. Was she mistreated? Yes. That's not what's important here. You can't walk away when you sign on the dotted line. If she had no contract and she was a handshake and she goes, there's no money involved, then okay. And if it was a handshake, I'm going to do my job. She signed on the dotted line. She had an attorney. It was ironclad. She signed it. She had an attorney look over it. It says, I've seen a WWE contract. It says, World Wrestling Entertainment has 100% creative control of your character. Unless you have an option there where you have some creative control. Hulk Hogan. Yeah, Mike, they are independent contractors, but they signed, you know, it's a loophole. They signed on the dotted line. You know that. I'm over this. She walked. Whatever happens, I don't care. I love Sasha Banks. I want to see her at WrestleMania. I want to see her win a title. I don't care if she walked, though. You're a crybaby. Anybody who walks away from wrestling is a crybaby. You're a crybaby because you got all the money. You got a beautiful house. I live in Claymont in a fucking hovel, okay? I would love to be a WWE superstar. I'd love to sweep the ring. They signed a contract. Everybody, one last time. They signed a contract. Thank you.
And what can happen if you breach your contract?
You're fired. And you get sued. You know, they could sue her for walking out.
That's what I'm, yeah, exactly.
She's hurting herself.
They could.
But not to mention all the little brown girls that look up to her and all girls in general. I get it. I think Sasha Banks I think all her frustrations are warranted. She's not wrong. She's right. But she signed on the dotted line. She got no, unless she got a lawyer to break the contract, that she got no, if they release her, God help her. You guys really believe she's going to AEW? She's going to be the champion? You guys believe that? You guys believe she's going to go to AEW and beat Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm? They're going to just just give it to her? Jade Cargill is going to just give it to her? Get out of here. She going to be the most...
We talked about this yesterday, me and Randall Savage, and we kind of agreed that if Sasha was to go to AEW, that's like the one female you have to put the belt on immediately.
But
you might disagree with it.
They wouldn't do it. They should. Look, they should. She should walk in and win the title the first day she gets there.
Yeah.
You're telling me DMD is going to go for that? You're telling me DMD ain't going to Tony Khan like, yo, for real? What? You think Jade Cargill going to go for that?
Let me say this though. They might not like it, but they signed a contract and they don't have creative control.
True story. I agree.
Look, let's picture this. Because right now, supposedly...
Tony Khan's not Vince. Tony Khan's not a businessman. Boom, baby's in the house.
There she goes.
Tony Khan is not... He don't have the balls. He don't have the grapefruits of Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Definitely. Let's say this. Supposedly they're having problems with Thunder Rosa, attitude-wise. And we kind of talked about this, when I even Vandal Savage at WrestleMania, when she was charging $50 for a picture and everything. Like she was letting this go to her head. What if Thunder Rosa is still champion and Sasha Banks shows up and they still got these problems with Thunder Rosa? You don't think that's a good enough idea to get the belt off Thunder Rosa immediately and give it to Sasha?
Of course it is.
If Sasha was to go to AEW, I think there'll be, how can I put this? She would bring a mass following of her fans to AEW, and I think just for her alone would help that women's division out so much, in my opinion. Because you got the second biggest name to me next to Charlotte in all of women's wrestling now at AEW.
I agree.
Just
everything, nothing you say is wrong. Nothing that you say is wrong, other than she's signed on that dotted line. That's it. She's a great talent. She's one of the greatest talents to ever get into the ring. She's great.
Yeah.
Her promo skills are beautiful. She made
Yes.
Bailey, she made Izzy cry. She's great.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's a monster heel. She signed.
Yes, she did. Just like she signed for that Mandalorian. Oh man. Daniel Price, on this one, I will disagree. I don't think there's no way you cannot put her in the dark after a month. There is no way. No way. Not Sasha Banks. There's no way. There's no way.
No chance in hell.
We thank y'all for thank y'all for tuning in today, everybody. To Over the Top Rope Wrestling. I'm Mr. Steely Dibs. That's my brother from another, Tantalizing Tony. We're gonna talk about Jeff Hardy now on our last segment of the day. So if you watch Tantalizing Tony's live show about Jeff Hardy the day I hopped in towards the end. It was a very, very good discussion. Tantalizing had the whole video of the Jeff Hardy arrest. He had the whole video. And I'm going to go first, and I'm gonna let him go after. You know,
because he knows it's gonna happen. Because he knows I'm about to blow the roof off the house on this one.
What should happen, Hardy? And I'm gonna go first, like I said. Number one, just some jail time. He needs some jail time. I'm sorry. There might be some people that might say, no, he shouldn't go to jail. He needs rehab. Well, he had before many a times. This ain't the first. It ain't the second. He's been in rehab many a times. He needs to go to jail. He needs to serve a sentence. All right. Picture that's one of your loved ones on the road driving, and Jeff Hardy is drunk, and he crashed into one of your loved ones, killing one of your loved ones. Just think of that. He needs to go to jail. Number two, I had a friend who couldn't start her car unless she blew into a breathalyzer test that was installed in her car. Now, I think Jeff Hardy needs that. I think he needs a breathalyzer test in every one of his cars. And within a few minutes of driving, let's say like he's driving for 20 minutes on a long road trip, that breathalyzer test needs to start beeping for him to take another test over and over and over. And if he happens to be over the limit while driving and drinking, let's say that, he blows into it, the car cuts off. Or if he doesn't blow into it at all, the car cuts off. Put over to the side of the road. That's what he needs for the rest of his life. A breathalyzer installed in his car. Plain and simple. That's the two things I got. Jail, install a breathalyzer test, Tantalizing, and I pass it on to you.
Everybody, grab a drink. Put your seatbelt on. Unlike Jeff Hardy. You ready for this? You guys in the chat can say whatever you want. My friend Alex Barbero can say what he wants. That let's get him rehab. Rehab has not worked. JB is very smart gentleman, and what he said about the breathalyzer thing is good. That's after the fact. In the story, let's keep it 100%. I'm driving down the street, going to the wrestling show. Here comes Jeff Hardy. Cross the highway, T-bones me, paralyzes me, paralyzes Kira, paralyzes one of your family members, kills one of your kids, kills your husband, kills your wife. He knows that he has a drinking problem. He gets behind the wheel. He knows his license has been suspended. Gets behind the wheel. If I go into 7-Eleven or your local grocery store and I steal a ring ding or a bag of Doritos or a bag of Takis, they're going to call the cops and I'm getting arrested for shoplifting for a $1 bag of Takis. Why is everybody debating if Jeff Hardy should get locked up? The criminal. Doesn't matter, he's a great wrestler. Him wrestling and making all his money and my job is the same thing. He goes to work and does his job. I go to work and do my job. JB goes to work to do his job. Rehab hasn't worked. Interventions hasn't worked. His family hasn't been able to help him. Nothing has worked. Guess what he hasn't done yet? He hasn't been locked up. He haven't taken his livelihood away from him.
Totally agree.
Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You are locked up. Lock him up. Lock him up. I love Jeff Hardy. Lock him up to save his life and somebody else's life.
I pray for him. I pray for him, but yeah, he needs to be locked up. I mean, think about it. We said it on your live show. How many chances does this guy keep getting? And he knows right from wrong, everyone. He knows right from wrong. It's just a choice he's making, and it's a bad choice. Plain and simple. Needs to go to jail. Plain and simple. And it needs to go to jail for quite some time. This is one of the best talents in the world for years, Jeff Hardy. And man, he just keeps up. Yeah. Yes, sir. And he keeps messing it up. And oh man, it's just, I don't know, man.
It's disappointing. It's sad. It's what you call pathetic. I'm sorry. We talked about this when the whole thing happened before, and I went off, and then I pulled back. Guess what? I was right. The guy's got a problem.
Definitely.
Bro, did you watch the video?
Oh, God, bro. It was bad, bro.
He couldn't even walk the line.
How many calls that cop said they got? Like, how many calls the cop said they got of him? Of a person? 4. Yeah. I was going to say 5. 4. Yeah. Yeah, Daniel Price. You got the hat trick. TNA, AEW, WWE. Yeah.
He's the first ever Triple Crown. He's the first ever Triple Crown DUI champion.
Yep. There it is. All I gotta do is pray for the man because I'm a big fan, but man, I'm not a fan of the decisions he's making. And he needs to come to the realization, that he needs help. And rehab is jail.
I would love for him to do 1 year in jail, stay sober for 6 months, come back to WWE and finish his career. Get a couple matches, sign off in a WrestleMania, go Hall of Fame, and go work backstage somewhere and somebody help him. What's his family doing? What are they doing? What is his family? Like, come on. At this point, when does your brother punch you in your face and be like, yo, enough? Like, this is when you beat your brother's ass. This is the point where you get involved with your family and you start knocking them out. Never.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
I don't feel sorry for him.
Well, everybody, what you say?
I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him.
No,
'cause he's
no,
a
no,
grown man.
definitely not.
It's
That's
just
right.
sad.
42-year-old man. Yeah,
It's
yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it ain't no feeling sorry for him. Well, everyone, we thank y'all for tuning in to the Over the Top Rope Wrestling Show. Like I said earlier, subscribe to Tantalizing Tony page. If you are not subscribed, subscribe to my page, Mr. Steal Your Dibs wrestling page. Tantalizing. Got any last words before we go?
no. Happy Father's
Your day turns out better than. Hope
Yes.
your day is better than how it has started for you.
Terrible. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. My bicep workout is Twinkies and Pepsi.
Yes, indeed. I hope you have a fabulous Happy Father's Day tomorrow, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy it. Everybody out there who are fathers, Happy Father's Day come tomorrow. Enjoy.
Oh, wait. One last thing, seriously. All you moms who are single moms out there, it's not Father's Day. Stop claiming it is. Thanks. You're not a man.
Oh, man.
You're just a great mom. Stop claiming it's Father's Day. I'm the father. No, you're not the father because you don't have a penis. Thank you.
Oh, gee. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank y'all for tuning in. Next week, we're coming back. We'll be here.
Happy Juneteenth tomorrow.
June, yes. Juneteenth. Yes, Juneteenth. Yes, sir. That's my brother from another, Tantalizing Tony. I am Mr. Steal Your Dibs. Until next time. Peace.